We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. And more revenues from the tourism sector. The Department of Tourism said it has reached over 149 billion pesos in revenue, exceeding its target for this year. The DOT said the increased tourist arrivals is attributed to the country's recognition as the world's leading beach and dive destination. This year, the DOT has reported about 2.4 million international arrivals, higher than its 1.7 million target. Under the DOT's 7-point agenda, tourism infrastructure will be improved along with the establishment of a cohesive digitalization and connectivity. The DOT will also support local government-initiated tourism infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, develop cruise tourism, regional travel fairs, among others. The DOT also plans to promote halal tourism in Mindanao and expand the tourism opportunity markets. Meanwhile, a series of anti-agricultural smuggling enforcement operations led to the confiscation of misdeclared and smuggled agricultural products at the various ports in the country. In its report, the Office of the Assistant Secretary for the Department of Agriculture, Inspectorate and Enforcement said 12 40-footer container vans were inspected, which led to the confiscation of smuggled agricultural products with an estimated value of more than 80 million pesos. The shipments were confiscated during a series of inspections held from December 21 to 23, as these contain smuggled yellow and red onions, carrots, and boneless buffalo meat previously declared as frozen lobster, prawn balls, steamed buns, bread, or combinations of ukay-ukay or second-hand clothes. The various shipments were consigned to Takulog J International Consumer Goods Trading, Aster Zenmed Incorporated, and SB Express Logistics and Business Solutions. DA Assistant Secretary James Layug said charges will be filed against them for violating the Food Safety Act of 2013 and the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act of 2016. The Philippine government could impose strict travel requirements on visitors coming from China following Beijing's decision to dismantle hardline containment measures this month. In an interview, Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista said the country should be very cautious in accepting inbound travelers from China. Bautista said they will look at the measures being imposed by other countries on travelers from China. Meantime, Bautista is proposing for RT-PCR testing upon arrival. The United States also announced plans to impose COVID-19 entry restrictions for travelers from China. The U.S. authorities cited the lack of transparent data, including genomic data from China, which could make identification of potential new variants difficult. On Monday, thousands of Chinese rushed to book flights overseas after Beijing scrapped mandatory COVID-19 quarantine for overseas arrivals starting January 8. This as Beijing abruptly lifted its policy of strict lockdowns and testing in line with moves to reopen the economy. Hospitals in China are now under intense pressure as a surge of COVID-19 infections strained medical resources. China reported 3 new COVID-related deaths on Tuesday amid long lines of patients with coronavirus symptoms. Aside from low supplies of drugs, nurses and doctors have been asked to work even while sick. The Department of Foreign Affairs is working on the repatriation of Filipino victims of illegal trafficking schemes in various countries across Southeast Asia. Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo Jose de Vega said these Filipino workers were promised jobs as data encoders but were instead made to work for pogos or have been converted to illegal scammers. De Vega clarified that they are looking to bring home close to 100 overseas Filipinos who fell victim to a scam by Chinese operators in Laos, Cambodia, and Myanmar. He said they are reaching out to foreign governments and international organizations for migration for assistance to help the workers, including those who could not go home. The Department of Migrant Workers previously said it is also investigating to see if similar operations are being conducted in Cambodia and Laos. As of November this year, the DFA has helped over 7,800 overseas Filipinos fly back home. Over half of the repatriates are from the Middle East, while some returned home due to the political situation in the countries they were based in, such as Sri Lanka. And with only 4 more days to go before the new year, we at the Philippine News Agency would like to greet everyone a very happy and prosperous new year. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change. Happy New Year, everyone.